What he does on the field.
Meaningful last night of the regular disastrously bad shit made me stop and go.
The power
even happen.
All right, Mike and Mike on ESPN Radio or on your TV on ESPN2. We thank you for starting your day with us here. A very happy holidays from our family to yours. The great Franco Harris will join us in studio.
Wow,
in
that's
15 minutes. That'll be nice. We've met him like once or twice. At least I have met him once or twice at the Super Bowl. But certainly one of the great heroes, sports heroes of my youth. So looking forward to that. And now it's our pleasure to welcome back to the program on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline from the MLB Network and NBC. Bob Costas is back with us. Fresh Take Hotline. I had read that story about Bing Crosby.
That's amazing.
But it's sort of gone in one ear and out the other exactly how it happened.
You know, he's so right. How great would it have been to see those commercials?
I agree.
Oh.
The great Franco Harris in our studio next. Mike and Mike in the morning.
ESPN Radio.
Mike in the morning. We're presented by Progressive Insurance, helping you find the discounts that work for you. Now that's Progressive. Visit Progressive.com to get your quote today. You know, the words living legend don't always apply. They're often overused, but I think in this case, they are perfectly appropriate. The man sitting in our studio was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1990, played 12 seasons for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 9-time Pro Bowler, ran for over 12,000 yards, was in all those Super Bowls, and the most valuable player of one of them. The great Franco Harris is in our studio here. Good to see you, Franco.
You know, the shame of it is I dig you so much, but growing up, I had to hate you. Because when you got to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was 10 years old living in Cleveland.
Oh,
so, I mean, I just wasn't allowed to like you or anything about you or your team. It just, and then I kind of got an affinity for the Oakland Raiders. Why, I don't know. And you guys had so many great battles with them. So, sorry about that. Dig you now, but back then it was tough.
No, I had some great battles, and those division races were tight all the time. Houston Oilers and the Browns and Cincinnati, and tough.
Who did you hate the most? Who was the team you relished beating the most?
The one I relished beating the most, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What can I say? And even though they weren't in our division, we had 2 great Super Bowls against them, and they were, you know, top team, America's team, and but we kind of felt that we were the best, and so I relished that the most.
We're practicing, you know, we talk about practice today. They're different, just the way they run everything. When you were getting ready to play a big-time division rival or a team you guys couldn't stand like Dallas, was practice different? Was there just a different intensity to it?
You know what? Chuck tried to make sure that, you know, we really didn't lose sight, that, you know, we didn't, you know, things that, you know, weren't overwhelming in a way. And we had a pretty good team. And
you
so,
think?
And so we tried to keep that balance, but we knew how big it was, and amongst us players, you know, we talked, and that anticipation of that game that weekend just kept building within yourself, as you know, but then come game time, I mean, just love those type of big games, and it really means the most.
You know, there are a lot of legendary plays in sports history. Willie Mays' catch on Vic Wirtz jumps to mind, and so many other legendary plays. But there's not too many where you can fly into a city and there's a statue commemorating that play in the airport. You get off a plane in Pittsburgh and you see a statue of Franco Harris reaching out and catching the ball off of his shoe tops. And that the legend. Yeah, go ahead.
And like, I want to say that we played the Raiders the other week, right?
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh.
Steelers did, yep.
And I heard some Raider fans were trying to knock the ball out of my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, really? At the airport?
I mean, maybe the most famous play, the Immaculate Reception, maybe the most famous play in football history. So it's almost 40 years ago now. Is there a day that goes by that someone doesn't mention that play to you?
Nope, and I thought I'd get by today.
Yeah. Yeah, very little chance here of getting by that. You know, John Madden, to this day, can't take it. And he still says, because back in those days, the rule was that if one offensive player touched it first, that the next person to touch it can't be an offensive player. Now, that rule has since changed. But he, to this day, maintains that should not have been a legal catch.
Right, and plus they talk about that the official asked, well, is there enough security here?
Right.
And he got the answer, Absolutely not. So touchdown.
If he was going to waive that playoff.
Pittsburgh rules, you know what I mean?
If you're old enough, as Mike and I are, and Golick was talking about it, to remember what football was like in the 70s. I mean, the Steelers and the Raiders and the Cowboys and the Vikings and the steel curtain defense you had and the purple people eaters and the flex defense and all of that. In your view, I mean, football has changed so much. The athletes are clearly better than they've ever been. There's all of this nutrition and exercise and everything else that didn't exist when you guys were playing. But are the teams better? In your view, are there the really good teams now, do they compare to the teams that you played on?
Well, I believe that that this parity thing, to me, is not something that that I really like. And I like it when there's a couple heavyweights, okay? I mean, I loved it when we had these epic battles against the Houston Oilers, okay? And then if we won our division against them, you played the Raiders, you know, in the playoffs, and like, to me, those heavyweights, that's what it's all about. And even this year, you know, people, Steelers, Ravens, you know, I mean, people, and you know, look forward to games like that rather than if everything is even. And so I know this might be against the norm, but I like it when each division has a couple of heavyweights, and you look forward to those, and they play that type of football that we love, just that tough defensive knockdown.
All right, let's talk about that. We're talking to the great Franco Harris. So the game today and how they've kind of legislated the hits on the quarterbacks, on the receivers, launching, leading with a helmet or a forearm. What do you think of all that? Because certainly if this was back in the day, everybody would be thrown out of the games for the way the hitting went back then. Do you like the way it's going nowadays?
You know what? I think it's necessary, and sure, believe me, I love the hitting like that. Very aggressive defenses. I love that type of play. But unfortunately, we realize that there are consequences to players later on in life, and the quality of life later on. And so some of the changes I think that they've made has made a difference, like the chop block on defensive linemen, right? You know, by the running backs. When I was playing, we could, you know, like our linemen would set them up and
take them out.
Take them out, you know. So, I mean, that really helped as far as knees. And on a kickoff return, you know, no, you know,
launching.
Right. And so I think that different rules during different times makes a difference. The headshots now, what I believe they really need to qualify more would be that range, okay, because it's a judgment call, as they say. And as soon as they get that down right, I think we'll be fine.
Mike and Franco Harris is here. He's brought to you by SilverSport.com, which is a company he's launching featuring a new line of fitness equipment with like yoga mats and towels and rolls. He brought them in for us here all day, which is terrific. We do a lot of yoga now with the P90X program that we're doing. I love the yoga.
Well, and also use our towel. And now, you know, our fitness products are made with Terra Silver, which is a nano silver additive. And silver is a anti-odor and antimicrobial. It gives antimicrobial protection to all our products. So remember how the locker room used to smell?
It used to smell, so it won't smell that way?
Gola kind of smells that way even now.
So
just
this is good. I need this then.
I should give him a silver towel right now.
Thank you very much. Silver Sport. Yeah, go ahead.
And like they're at Dick's Sporting Goods, so I tell guys, you would seem very smart to pick this up for your loved ones here.
Yeah, holiday season coming up.
Franco Harris again at SilverSport.com. All right, quickly. Steelers, sometimes one team just has another team's number. The Patriots seem to have the Steelers' number. If those two teams were to meet in the AFC Championship game this year, do you think the Steelers go into Foxborough and beat them?
I think the Steelers are that one team that can beat them. And if they keep progressing in their play, I feel that they will beat the Patriots.
How?
With defense, and there's no doubt you have to score points, and if our offense keeps getting better, but the big thing is going to be defense, and if our defense will play a different game than last time.
Yeah, well, defense has been playing well for Pittsburgh, that's for sure. I think one of the other great things about Franco Harris, when he came out of Penn State in '72, Joe Paterno was the coach.
How about that?
2010, Joe Paterno.
Pa says he wants 5 more years. What do you think?
I love it. I love it. You know, I mean, playing for him was great. just seeing that the level of play that he's maintained over 40, 45
almost 50 years.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Incredible.
Franco Harris played for Joe Paterno and played for Chuck Noll. It's pretty good. Franco Harris, great to have you here. Enjoy your day.
Hey, happy holidays, everybody.
To you too. Thank you so much. The legendary Franco Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're Mike and Mike. We're back in 3 minutes with more football conversation.